Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be changing it up a little bit. We've been doing build tutorials. Today, we're just going to do a build walkthrough. Much more chill video. We're just going to hang out and talk about this build right here behind me. This build I have been calling Gandalf's Workshop. I think I just started calling it that because it's turned into this like fantasy magical workshop, but let's go ahead and get into the video. Alright, before we get into the tour, I need to thank the sponsor of today's video. Nah, I'm totally kidding. I do need to say something really quick though. Lately, I've been doing a lot of build tutorials. They seem to be doing well. There's a lot of tips in there. It seems like you guys like them, but let me tell you, these tutorials take forever. Sometimes it takes me longer than a week to produce one of these videos. So what I'm thinking, we stop doing tutorials and instead just do showcases. I can make a build in really like one day if I don't have to film the entire process. So I could make multiple builds a week. I can put out community polls so that you guys can vote on the theme of these builds, and I can make a playlist on the channel and add all these into the playlist. In just a couple weeks, it would already have like 6 or 7 builds for you guys to reference. I think it's a wonderful idea. So yeah, that is probably going to be the new format for the videos. Let me know what you think in the comments or on my Discord. And now let's go ahead and get into the tour. Alright, so let's get started with this tour. As we come up the path to the house, we've got really only 2 features. We've got a well here on the right side, very simple well, nice chain hanging down, supposed to seem like it's holding a bucket there for water. And then on the left side of the path, we've got a medieval lantern, and now we can just sprint down to the front entrance. I love this little front entrance. It's very small, but it's very cool, like with how it all curves. And then as we enter into the first feature of the house, which is the Japanese style Zen garden. So if you've seen the gardener's house video in the village build series, you've seen me do this already. This is the second version of this. I had a lot more room here to work with, and I tried out some new things. You guys will have to let me know what you think. First of all, we're crossing a very small little bridge, which keeps us off of the dirt. So the idea here is that the dirt is like the lava, I guess, you know? So the dirt you are not supposed to walk on. We've got a couple different stones, 3 sizes of the same stone. We've got even some lighting out here, which I thought would be an interesting addition. And yeah, you're just basically supposed to follow the paths. You can see these bridges go right over the dirt each time, this time into a gazebo. And then yeah, you just follow the paths, which are kind of framed out for you. So we've got the stone paved area here, with some nice planters. This is also like version 3 of something that I've done in the past. We've got some berry bushes here. I've got the iron cage pieces so that, you know, I guess it's supposed to seem like a vine could grow up them. This time I did kind of like a crazy jagged type of shape for the iron cage pieces, and I put a roof over top to protect them from going bad in the rain. In just a minute, we'll head up this staircase, up this little curvy staircase into the house. But first, let's finish up here with the Japanese Zen garden. This part is so cool right here. This bridge is actually where it kind of flip-flops. So the garden itself, over here we're walking on stone paved, but then as we go over this bridge, you're kind of hopping on stones over the stone paved onto an oasis, or not really, more like an island that you're supposed to do your farming on. So this would be where you grow some vegetables. Over here would be your berries, and yeah, so you just kind of have a little mini farm or garden built into a very nice space. So yeah, we can then head across the bridge over the little path, and we can head into the house. But before we do that, I want to give you guys a quick rundown of what we're actually looking at. So on the left side, up top where the red banners are, we have like an outdoor hangout area where you could eat and drink and hang out with some guests. Down below that is the bedroom for, I guess it would be Gandalf, you know, because it's Gandalf's workshop, but it's just the bedroom for whoever lives here. In the middle of the build, we have kind of like the transition area. I don't know how else to explain it. You kind of transition from one side of the house to the other here. So there's a staircase from the first and the second floor, and there's also a hallway, you know, on both floors. Then as you go to the right of that, you can see the tall stone building. This is the actual workshop, 2-story workshop, crazy amount of external staircases on the outside. Love that. Down below that, you can see we have the workshop. It actually comes out onto the outside. Over on the right, we've got a little test build area. We then have a barley windmill tower to complete the farm. And then we have the tree of life feature over there in the corner, which I absolutely love. All these things, of course, we will be going through right now. So let's go ahead and head up this curvy staircase right here. Love how this staircase came out. Just another one of those things where, like, because I'm not filming, I don't have to, I can just kind of freestyle and I can come up with more crazy shapes and things like this. So that's actually exactly where this came from. Normally this would be a little bit more difficult to, you know, I'd have to build it and then probably tear it down and then build it smoothly through again for the recording. But I can just build for fun, you know, not dealing with the recording. So there are wooden shutters here somewhere that are in the wall here. But yeah, so that's, I didn't know about that. But yeah, you enter up here into this cool little outdoor eating area. We've got seating all over the place, views, you know, fermenters here. This is really the place where you would hang out with guests. Coat rack here, take off your helmet and just relax. Big table, 3 tables actually here in the middle with a bunch of food. And then I can look up even. I said I would show you guys all the angles. So here even is the roof. I love this little building, how this came out. Love the theme, little outdoor party area. Love it. Now, as we enter the house, you can see the design of this house is so cool. It's very open. You can see right out onto the front porch outside. Over here is when you get to that big stone building, but we'll go in there in just a minute. I want to finish up over here with the house building. As we go down, you can see the next hallway, which we'll come back through in just a moment. Here is the front door, which we'll come through in a moment. But let's go ahead first and go through the bedroom, which is right underneath the little party area up top. So this is the entrance to the bedroom. No door, but we do enter through a banner. And then as we enter the bedroom, you enter a space which I spent way too much time designing. This space is absolutely awesome. I love how this came out. First of all, we've got a little seating area here on the right, some extra things tucked away. Maybe there's somebody standing here in the corner and they're like drinking and eating some Queen's Jam. We've got a nice table you can sit down here, stools on the outside to save room, and then a full seat on the side. You know, all sorts of food here, ward tucked away, lighting right here, little piece of bread even next to the table. Love that. Over here is kind of the storage for the bedroom. You know, a little table you could work on. You know, wealth everywhere. We've even got a leech trophy sitting on a stand right here, which you can see I did with a beam. I placed the item frame onto a hidden beam back here. As we round this corner, I'll go left first. We've got the bed area. So you can see we're going from one carpet to the next, which I love to do. And then you can even separate that with 1 meter beams. Love that. The bed, you have your tools that you might set down from your long day's work. You've got some storage, more storage here, a little bedside table here, trophies on the wall, windows everywhere with drapes. And then that brings us over to the final piece, which is the closet. You know, it's obviously not sealed off, but this I guess would be the closet. All of the different suits of armor of the person who lives here. We've even got some extra armor stands in the back to hold some spare helmets. Yeah, and some tucked away lighting back there and some tucked away stuff there. Pretty cool little feature. And I guess the final feature here in the bedroom is the outside access. You can see I put a wooden tower shield as kind of like the segue between the rug onto the outdoor space. And here is the outdoor little patio, some seating here on the left and the right. And I'll give you guys a nice outside view of this patio so that you can see actually what it looks like. So yeah, that's pretty much it though for the bedroom. Lots of little details. Probably spent too much time here, but let's keep moving. As we come out into the hallway, You can see the hallways they're very simple, but I think they have enough details to keep them interesting. Nice little cubby here that you could sit at. And this brings us into our first area of the stone building, the workshops. The workshop down here, down low, is the forge workshop. Absolutely love how this workshop came out. Even the ceiling with the stone arches, I mean, details on every little wall. We've got shelves up out of the way, forge table tucked underneath, multiple types of shelves, grinding wheel built into a kind of little desk, you know, armor stands. You might be making armor in here, you know, other things you might make in here, fire here. And of course, this is, I've got everything you can craft with in Valheim in this build somewhere. So I did throw a cooking rack here in the forge table little room too. So now we can head out and we can go upstairs, I guess. Let's go ahead and go upstairs. And I can show you the other workshop, which is, of course, for the workbench. So down below, we've got the forge table setup, which you actually have access to through these cage floor pieces on both sides and the corners. And then up top, you've got the workbench room. Love these different rooms, these two workshops, super detailed, lots of shelves and things going on. Fun fact, these shelves right here, you can see right here, there's a little roof panel sticking through, and then there's another roof panel sticking through. I actually just made these into little shelves for storage because I wanted to hide those roof panels. So it's just kind of, you know, just try to make a little clever way to hide the fact that you've got roof panels sticking through. So yeah, here the fire is actually just decoration. Down below in the forge room, you actually light the fire. Here the lighting comes from the lighting up above, and this one is just tucked into the wall, and it's just here to kind of fit the theme. So yeah, now we can head out. This is this hallway one more time. You guys have seen everything now inside, so we can kind of head outside. We've got a nice little seating area here on the front porch. You can see into the house on this side. You can see up into the house there. Oh man, I love how this house kind of, it's very open to the outside and everything. Love that. Now we have access onto the little walking path out front of the house. So let's take a little walk down this. You can see the little patio space. You can see the window into the bedroom. The bed is right through this window. We've got some bushes here on the right, which took forever to place correctly without a mod. We have some, you know, just kind of walled off areas, just a nice little walking trail, grass in the sectioned off areas, and dirt to walk on in the not sectioned off areas. And yeah, I tried to remove here in this build a lot of the things that go bad in the weather, because I had a lot of people not happy with me that I did that a lot in the village. But for some areas, I just had to do something. You know, I wanted a fence here, and I can't cover this area, so I just went ahead and did it. But of course, these would go bad in the weather, and same for this feature out here. All of this would go green in the weather. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the little front walking path. You can see the external staircase going up the outside of the workshop. We'll actually come down that in a minute. Under the workshop, we've got coal storage, a stone oven, and over here we've got the rest of our kind of smelters and things for completing the workshop. It just kind of comes out to the outside as well. So then we can head up this staircase. Over here is just my test area where I was going through some things that I might use in the build. Some of them I did use, and some of them I did not use. I did end up using this right here though. And then as we head up this hill, we've got the completion of the farm. We have the windmill for the barley. You can see just a nice little area in here, cultivator on the wall since this is a farming type of thing. A little bench here on the left, and then you can go around the path towards the tree of life. Love how this came out. You can actually go up this staircase underneath the roots of the tree of life. And you know, I don't know, I'm definitely going to do more with this in the future. New idea here, using the angled beams to create like crazy roots. This is just rendition number 1. We're definitely going to do more with this in the future. But yeah, let's head back towards the workshop. If you go right down this way, you can actually enter where the workbench area is. This way, we just came through from the tree of life. And this goes down the wacky external staircase, which we'll go down in just a minute. But you might not have noticed that there's actually an area which goes up and around up to the top of the workshop. Let's go up here. It's a little tight here, so watch your head, of course. But as we come up around this corner, you might be able to realize this is really just an overlook. You know, it's kind of like the best view in the place. It's up at the highest point at the top of the workshop building. And yeah, it's just supposed to be a cool little view of the area. I'll show a little external shot so you can see exactly what it looks like. It's really nice because it added some details onto the stone workshop shape. And it also added a little interactive feature, a little overlook too. As we come back down this staircase, you can see how this thing is shaped. I love how this came out. Let me show you guys from the outside. It almost looks like modern architecture with these different lines and these different directions. I can even go around this way and show you how this worked out. It's very tight in there, but I think it looks very, very nice with how the design came out. Maybe I could have made it a little taller, but it fit into this space really well, keeping it this short. You can see it goes into the stone here. If I'd gone any higher, I would have had to go up here into the stone, and it just didn't really work out. But yeah, so I love how this worked out. And even here on the back, it really added to the look of this workshop, which, you know, was a really plain, tall side. So that added a lot to it. And then of course here it is on the front, a little lookout that you can sit inside. So now we can head back around into the external staircase. And now, you know, the workshop is right there. We can go this way down the stairs. You can see now we can see down into the forge workshop. We've got a little seating area here. Oh yeah, I forgot to point out too, this design, this little external staircase, my favorite part of it is that it's all rigid. You have all these corners, but then you come to this side and I curved it into the stone. What a wonderful detail that ended up being. I got really lucky with that. It was a little bit of a risk, to be honest. I wasn't sure how it was going to look, but check out how nicely that curves just right there naturally into the stone, putting a really nice, smooth, rounded edge on this part of the external staircase. But yeah, now we can head back down where we just were. We've got the little seating area. We've got the access down to the forge room. This is the final bit of crafting, the artisan table setup. This is everything you need to do all the crafting now in Valheim. That was the last piece of the puzzle. And then we can head down back onto the walkway where we are done with the tour. All right, that is that for the video. If you want to stick around for like 10 more seconds, you can see some final cinematic shots of the whole thing. Like I said before, don't forget to let me know in the comments or in my Discord whether or not you guys like videos like this. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. More coming soon. And of course, as always, have a good one.